If you're looking for a music library to help get your music out there and get placements for your songs on television and film, then check out these music libraries today: Audio Socket, Atrium Music, the Slipstream Music, and Warner Chappell. Check them out and save this video if you're looking to get your music licensed in projects like television, film, video games, ads, and all that. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Julissa, and I'm back teaching my hip hop artists how to succeed in music. Whether you're going for sync licensing, whether you want to be a professional songwriter, I wanted to provide tools to help us as we grow together. Yeah, I feel like it's a community thing. I got a lot of love for the hip hop community. Obviously, I do hip hop music primarily for television and film. And I kind of just wanted to break down my process more and more, chip through it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments so that I can answer them effectively and efficiently to give you guys the answers that you need to carry on your journey. But I wanted to break this down because I think this gets confused quite often, and it's the difference between a sync agent and a music library, and why you would choose either or, why you would choose both. I wanted to just explain that and break it down as simple as possible. Like, my whole process is to make sure y'all understand and can retain the information. So when it comes to a music library's job is to have a ton of music. Let's say they need 10 tracks from you and it's talking about love. Let's say they need 10 tracks from you and it's talking about overcoming obstacles. Okay, they need 10 more tracks from you and it's all hype music. They want a collection of music, right? And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I've been in music libraries where there's producers also in the company, and they make sure that we use the in-house producers because they already got the sound that they wanted and all of that. They've already vetted the music. They don't have to do any of that. That's my next point. When it comes to music libraries, typically they do all of that stuff when it comes to clearing. They know that there's no legal issues that are going to happen within the music. Like, everything's cleared. It's been vetted. Then they're going to register your songs on your PRO. So when they register the songs, they'll make sure that your name is there correctly, X, Y, and Z. I've worked with music libraries that have a direct relationship with certain supervisors, right? Or they're working on a specific show. Catalog in their library is maximized to the fullest. There's two music libraries that I worked with in the very beginning of my journey and, getting my music licensed. And typically, when I had a song placed on a show, it was not just one, it was multiple. It was more than one song that I did with them. It was more than one shows. And so you start to see your music move a lot faster when you work with a music library. So why would somebody choose to work with a music library? One, they kind of take care of all the headache. They take care of all the paperwork. So if you don't know how to upload your music or register your music on your PRO, which is the ASCAP or the BMI or the other ones, if you don't know how to do all that, they'll do it for you. They're actively pitching your music so that it gets placed. They do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and you just have to give them music. And typically, because music supervisors want a lot of songs, you start to see your catalog build up as far as in your PRO. You start to see a lot of the royalties start to add on. A lot of people that I know, some people that I know, they only work with music libraries. Why? Because they're giving them tons. And when I mean tons, I'm talking tons of records a month. On average, at least 10 to 20, right? You're giving them tons of and some more than that. But you're giving them tons of records, right? And when those songs get placed in shows or an ad or whatever it gets placed on, and you start to recoup those royalties, you start to see it move a lot faster than maybe a sync agency, but I'll talk about that in a second. And then, so when your placements start piling up and adding on, your royalties are going to skyrocket. And next thing you know, you're making like 5 figures quarterly off of your music that's been in music libraries. If you're doing the numbers game, so I know someone that he's like, get 1,000 records under your belt, get 1,000 records placed, you're good. You're good. And I understand what that means, right? If you have a solid 1,000 records placed, what that will look like on your PRO statement, I don't know, because I'm not there yet, right? I have about over 300, but I don't have 1,000. Okay. Some people operate solely on the numbers game. They understand if I give a lot of these tracks every month to music libraries, it's going to pay off in the end, right? Now, the downfall, in my opinion, when it comes to music libraries is ownership. You don't own the publishing to your records. And depending on if that's important to you or not, there's no power in the records that you have, right? I can't now try to get a publishing deal on records that I own no publishing to. I can't sell my catalog, even if your song got placed and they got millions of streams. Let's just say, because what happens a lot of times is that your song would get placed on a show or a movie or something like that, and then people start shazamming the heck out of your song. That's how I've gotten a lot of streams on some of my tracks. And even if it gets millions of streams, you have no power over that song. You don't even have power of when it's going to be released. And so if ownership is important to you, I would say think about it if you want to jump into the music library game. I will say if you're new and you want to get placements, like you're just like, I need some placements under my belt, the music library is the best to go. Because think about it. Even if you gave like 20 solid tracks to a music library and they got placed and they did really, really well, that also gives you a snapshot in your mind to be like, if I did this, then of course I can write great records that get placed even with sync agencies. And on top of that, a sync agency is going to want to know what you're doing currently with your music, whether it be high streams, whether it be you've already gotten placements. A lot of time they want to know what you got going on and what you've already accomplished outside of them. So if you're brand new to like sync licensing and you want to get some records under your belt, then music libraries are an awesome way to start. I'm speaking this in the terms of like when I first started and I got into music libraries, I didn't understand a lot of anything when it came to sync licensing. And so I really got my foot in the door when I started working with music libraries and I got placements under my belt. And again, even though you don't own the publishing, you own 100% of the writer share, right? Obviously, if you're working with another producer, you split that, but you own your part of the writer share. And so when you look at your statement, you're going to start to see that money recoup. And so that's how the music library goes. So they do a lot of the work for you. They own the publishing. So you have to decide what's important to you in your career. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in on this page.